For a second, I was almost bought a cube. I was like, you know what? I don't need to get into this. I already have enough stuff going on. Anyway.
You're like, maybe I'm special needs.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pubstomp, a podcast about games, TV shows, movies, and pop culture in general. Every episode, we discuss topics that we find interesting. Come join our shenanigans.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Pubstomp Podcast. Today, like we promised last week, we're going to be covering WandaVision. Every nerd out there has been watching this show week after week after week. And finally, we're here. How's it going, Mexi?
Yo.
Hey, what's up, Tyler?
Hey.
All right, but before we get into it, Mexi's been chanting something all week. What is this chant, Mexi?
Fight!
It's a new
apparently
side.
Apparently it's this song, but it's apparently so good. I don't know, man. I think it's too violent.
It's very violent.
But
It's
we'll
a
link it
little
in the
violent for me.
description. And you guys can decide. The song is too violent, but what's not violent? It's a documentary. The Speedcubers.
About Rubik's Cubes.
Oh.
It's
Is
a
it though? Is it
It's-
about Rubik's Cubes?
No.
It's about. Oh man, I'm
So you're
tearing
gonna
up already,
explain it?
man. I'm
You're gonna-
tearing up. No, man,
I'm
I
tearing
can't.
up.
I can't do it. I can't do
Okay.
it. You do it, man. You do it.
So
You told us about this.
Speedcubers is a documentary about these two kids, I would say now. And they're basically, it's like the world's best Rubik's Cube solver. And then the guy who's coming up behind him to now be the world's best Rubik's Cube solver. And like how their friendship comes through. But like the plot twist of this whole thing is that one of them has extreme autism. So watching him growing into like this person with like empathy and stuff. So it's a really interesting documentary. And I feel it's more about the relationship between these two guys than it is about speedkeeping. I don't know.
1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, it's
1,000 times.
the cubing is the mechanism that drives this relationship, right? It's like the thing that they have in common.
It's
And
like
they-
watching Queen's Gambit, right? Like chess is there to drive the story,
Yeah,
but the story is the friendships we make along the way.
dude. Yeah,
Ooh.
dude.
It's deep.
Like Felix Zemdegs and Mark Park. Felix is the Australian.
Max Park.
Oh, Max
Yeah.
Max Park.
Yeah, Max Park.
Yeah, Max
Yeah.
Park. he's Max Park is the guy with autism. Felix Zemdeg is Australian, right?
Yes.
This
Mhm.
guy's was the world champion for like ever.
He had all the world records and
All the world
stuff.
records.
He's like a
Yeah.
prodigy, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Max came along and just started breaking all the records.
This is one that if you didn't watch it, don't let us spoil it. You got to watch it first.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because we can't take the moments away from people.
there's a lot of
It hit me.
yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely you're gonna need some Kleenex for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I'm not even gonna lie. I cried like throughout this whole thing. It's a 40-minute
yeah.
documentary, and I'm just like tearing up every 10 minutes. Like, oh my god!
Yeah. You
Like-
you said that it hit you right in the feels,
Mhm.
and I was like, "It's about a Rubik's cube, man. Suck it up. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I'm gonna watch this." I was gonna watch half last night and half today
Mhm.
because I was like, "I gotta watch this before the podcast." And I got sucked in, and then Carly got sucked in. We were watching this. We were all crying. We're bawling together. Oh, it's a beautiful.
Yeah,
moment.
dude. Like, it's just like I don't know if I guess I'll say with spoiler alert, but like the thing that Felix said at the end, when he's all grown up now, he's a professional. He doesn't do this full time, so of course he didn't do great at the 2019 Worlds, but it was in Australia. It was in his home country,
Mhm.
and they asked him like what was the best thing about this year's competition. It was like there was at his home country, so his
Mhm.
friends could come and see this and be part of it. And it's cool, right? Because and like Mexi and I are from the same hometown, but none of the stuff that we do, that we ever done, that we experienced, like none of our like anybody back home can't do it because we left and everybody stayed behind. So it's like, yeah, I understand that. Like if anything that I do, I cannot share with anybody because they won't understand. They won't. Like anytime we go to PAX or anytime we go to like these gaming conventions, all these things is like this culture or this experience cannot be shared, and it's it's a beautiful moment, man.
It's fair.
That's my out of my. I'll get off my soapbox.
Nah, man. It's,
Huh?
to me, it was just like, how to explain it? Seeing Felix being such a friend to Max, like, oh my god,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that was he's 100%.
They were the biggest
bro, man.
competitors. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah,
even knowing like such like the empathy that Felix had for Max is like so admirable, because no matter what, like Max is beating him, he's like, but to Max it's like, are you like, to him it's like, are you proud of me, Felix? Like he's not trying to be
Yeah.
competitive.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, I know that feeling too. I mean, I don't have an older brother, and I always wanted to like know what that feels like. Mexi and I are pretty close. We
Mhm.
bust each other's balls, and we're kind of like peers. But it's like having that person that you look up to. It's like I feel like I don't know, like yeah, dude. It's
Yeah, and I was like, I would like at towards the end where he's all like, I felt bad because like he didn't even care that Felix didn't qualify or win, but the fact that Max didn't do it, and he was so worried about how Max was gonna feel because he's autistic, he doesn't handle his emotions very well. So
Uh-huh.
just him being there and being like, it's okay, we didn't get a podium this time, but next time, I was just like, oh my god,
I know,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, I get chills just thinking about it. 'Cause
Uh huh. Yep.
it's such a sweet moment. I don't know what I was expecting when I watched this. I just like sitting there Saturday night, and I was just like, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were gonna
It was a
get
good.
into.
It was a good
Yeah.
find. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it.
yeah. I watched it.
It's a
Yes.
shock.
So I 100% recommend. It is definitely not like if you're feeling down already, please just don't watch it. Like,
No,
See,
it's
it's
a
not
a
sad,
feel
but
good
it's like-
movie.
I don't know.
I think it picks you up. I mean, you
Does
cry,
it?
but
I
you
don't
cry
know.
like happy tears, right?
I was super. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this movie.
Yeah, just
Uh,
spoil it.
Like when the mom is talking about Max and how she's
this
autistic.
is my biggest moment. Yes. Talk about.
And
Sorry.
then-
Go ahead.
You want to say it? No, you can bring it
No,
up. if
you.
want.
No,
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same one. I don't. Go ahead. You started.
So when he's a child and stuff, so they can't interact with Max, but the mom is just trying to learn how to interact with him, and she's just like, I was just there until one day where he like let me into his little cave or something,
Oh,
and then
man.
closed the door on his dad,
Ah.
and I was just like, oh my
Oh
god,
yeah, that was good too.
he's
Yeah.
finally understanding. Like, like I don't have kids, but I can understand like.
You have feelings, man. You have feelings. Okay, that's all you
Well,
need.
Yeah.
No, like I can imagine how hard it can be for a parent to be like, I can't interact with my child, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
that was
so
rough.
that's why it hit me in the feels, because I was like, man, if I couldn't communicate with my kids, like it would be so hard, man. It's
Yeah.
like devastating. I can already
Mhm.
feel that.
Yeah, that's my biggest moments were about the parents. It was slightly different. The
Mhm.
one that came to mind was when his mom said she doesn't think that Felix knows how big of an impact he has on Max's life.
Yeah.
Because they they were friends and competitors, but like he was a big deal in his life. And then the
Yeah.
other thing was like the dad was saying like when he loses and he deals with it okay, or like he doesn't freak out, like that's a huge win for us because he has like emotional he's
Mhm.
gaining that emotional thing. It's like
Maturity.
Rubik's cubing like saved this saved his life, like, it gave him
Yeah.
an outlet, it gave him a way to learn. It was really cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. So I know we already spoiled the shit out of the show.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still worth watching because
Yeah.
you're gonna see it. They'll tell it better. I mean, you'll get it from the horse's
Yeah.
mouth, right? So
Yeah.
There's a lot of little scenes where you see like their friendship, and it's amazing. Like the
Yeah.
dinner scene
oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
where like Felix is just telling Max like, hey Max, you need to eat more grains, and Max
exactly,
is like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's like,
this-
yeah, man, get some beans too. Yeah, it's like
this
oh,
guy
man.
like I don't want to say he has so much but he has so much respect for the guys. That's
Yeah.
like, okay, like you're right.
It's like an older brother. It's like
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
to look up to. It's like beautiful, man. It's like I just hearing that like makes you
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess I don't know. I felt sad because like I don't know. Maybe I'm empty inside. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I felt sad, but
No,
I
man,
guess
it's
it just feel good. It just feel good.
it. No, it's sad because you can understand like how difficult this is for Felix to not being able to express himself fully because he's so worried about Max, but also the parents to be so concerned about their son all the time.
Yeah.
But you feel good because you see Max like he has this really good friend. And like you don't see him freak out, like he cries, right? And I think anybody would cry
I mean,
losing
yeah,
a
you would
world
have to.
champion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he handled it so well, and like he's like, it's okay. And like you could see Max also worried about Felix, right? Because he was all
Yeah.
like, it's okay, we didn't get a podium, but next time. And you're like, you see, like he understands that Felix is sad too.
Yeah, but okay, so I think I can pinpoint now why I'm sad because I know this is gonna end, right? Felix cannot be cubing for the rest of his life. He's older now, right?
Yeah.
So now you can already saw him going down in the rankings because he doesn't have enough time to practice because he now has a real job and he has like to go
Yeah.
and have friends outside of life. So I know this is all ending, and that's why I think it feels sad because all the good moments, all the good memories, all the competition is like it's gonna end for Felix because he has to move on.
Yeah. And they even
Yeah,
talk
but-
about that.
Yeah.
They're like, as you get older, you don't cube as much.
Yeah, and that they said he's starting his career and that sort of thing. But he made such a good friend. You have to think that he's going to be there for Max going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he, it was big time. It was cool.
Yeah.
Now I feel weird again. Dang it.
There's no. I think this documentary is perfect. It's very concise. It's 40 minutes, so it's not like it's a huge time sink. Highly recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat, like actually, literally on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
40 minutes went by fast. I wanted more, but it was perfect. It was
Yes,
well
perfect,
told.
Yeah, and it ended like it. I mean, it went up to present time, right? Which is 2019, I guess.
2020. 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out like 20. Yeah, So the
came
event
out
was
like that.
2019, and
Yeah.
it came out in 2020.
You know what I really like about it? And one more thing, it's like they made you they didn't make you feel. I don't think they made you feel bad for Max. It kind of opens your eyes to autism and that they're you shouldn't really feel bad for him because they can find their outlet. And like Felix treated him, he didn't treat him like a child. He like treated him like a person.
Yeah.
Like
He
a lot of
wasn't-
times
Yeah.
a lot of times people treat others with special needs kind of like beneath them, like children, and they talk down to them, and it's and I mean to a certain extent, I don't know, going down the rabbit hole, but you can say their mental capacity is at whatever level, but I think it's best to do it like Felix did. Treat him like a person, treat him like an equal.
Mhm.
It was cool. It was cool to see.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
That's great.
again, watch it. It'll be good. You won't regret it.
Ride that
might
feels
get-
train with us. Choo,
Yeah.
choo.
You might get into cubing. I for a second I was almost bought a cube. I was like, you know what? I don't need to get into this. I already have enough stuff going on.
You're like, maybe I'm special needs.
Oh, damn. And with that, WandaVision. All right.
damn.
I'm definitely going to need some assistance there. But I guess just like we always do, man. Who liked it? Who didn't? Let's start with Maxi. We didn't start Maxi with last time. Maxi, you like it?
Yeah. I didn't like the beginning of it. I like the ending of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, Tyler?
I like the whole thing.
Oh, snap.
I understand why he doesn't like the beginning. We'll get into that. But I thought it was unique. I've never seen anything like it, and I liked it from beginning to end. Even though in the beginning I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh man, and I as the person who hasn't watched any of these things, I like the beginning more than the end because I didn't have to know what was going on because what I was watching, what was going on. So I was like, "What do you guys? Why is everybody confused? It's a sitcom." I thought I was smarter than everybody else.
That's awesome.
Oh, little did I know. Anyway. So I guess yeah, I like the beginning, like the end confused. But so Maxi, you want us to talk about like favorite things about the show? So
Okay.
open us up.
So I'm gonna explain why I didn't like the beginning, and it kind of goes into why I like what my favorite part of the show is. Oh damn!
Sorry.
Okay.
No, don't apologize for that.
So I felt like when you're watching at the beginning, it didn't earn the reason why you're watching it. There wasn't anything happening. It was just kind of like a one-off episodes. They're just like, here's a show. Well, nothing else about it. So it didn't do anything to capture you, in my opinion. But apparently to you, it did.
Yeah.
However, one of the biggest things that it kind of annoyed me from the whole MCU is like you watch Age of Ultron and then you start into Civil War, but Captain America Civil War. Sorry, I'll use full name. And then like at that point, Wanda and Vision are in a relationship, and you don't really know why. Like they're just a thing together. And then to me that was annoying because like why are they together? It doesn't make sense. Like they're just two people that apparently a lot happened between the 4 movies in between. And then this show, they kind of explain it, and you see them like up to that point. Spoilers, by the way, where they're sitting at the Avengers compound, and she's watching Malcolm in the Middle, and then Vision's like trying to comprehend why she's sad and things like that. And like it's so like beautiful. And the line that he says it, which they meme a lot, is like, "What is love, or what is grief if not love persevering?" And I was just like, he does understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's such a like, okay, I understand why they're a couple now. Like, okay, it makes sense to me.
Wait, really? Because I didn't know that that's when they got together. But that line is beautiful because grief is harsh, man.
Yeah.
And when he put it that way, I was like, oh man. Now I feel because I have a hard time with grief, and when he put it that way, it's like much more beautiful.
Yeah, it was a very touching scene, especially like when he's trying to understand. Like when he's like, it's funny because he hurt himself, right? Like that whole moment, he's just trying to understand Wanda, and then you can see, okay, it's building from here. This is why they like each other. He was there when she felt the worst, and I was like, now I understand. Because my whole thing is I want to know why things are happening in the MCU. So
yeah. So that was your favorite moment when
that was beautiful, man. I would have watched till that moment, and I would have been done with the season and been happy.
But then you kept watching.
Right, there was more episodes. I couldn't stop. But if they would have stopped it after that episode, I would have been okay.
You got what you needed.
I got what I needed, actually.
Yeah. Cool. Tyler, do you have the favorite moment?
Man, I don't know if I have a favorite moment. I like the different stages of it for different reasons. The beginning was really cool. I really like the sitcom thing. I do agree the first couple episodes you're confused, but I feel like they give you just enough at the end to keep you coming back. Like they give you a little hint as to what's going on, and then each episode you get a little more, and then it starts to build into, okay, I get what's going on. I like that about the beginning. About the end, it went into a lot of things that I don't understand about the Marvel universe. With what's her name, Agnes, and whatever her character name is. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I didn't need much from this one. I didn't need an explanation of the universe. I'm excited to see how it plays into the next movies, because I think they kind of keyed off into some more movies. So I'm excited about that.
This one leads directly into Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just slightly less lost than Trigo. So Trigo, what did you like?
Honestly, my favorite part was the beginning because it's just funny. Like when Wanda's doing like the black and white kind of thing, she's like being funny. I thought it was hilarious. Like that was my favorite part of the show, and mostly because I didn't even know that these characters were in the MCU, so I came in knowing nothing, and then I went back and started watching Civil War, and Mexico's like, stop watching that. I got more confused. and I did because I was confused since like at the very beginning. I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Screw this. Screw this. The movie's like 2 hours long. Can't have time for that. Oh, and the other thing, the episodes were short. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be super long. It's nice.
The other ones got longer towards the end of the season.
They did get a little bit longer, but not like 45 or hour long. Yeah, so
I feel like they were more creative with this one. Like they didn't have to stick to a specific episode length. Like different episodes were different lengths. I noticed.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it was very loose. It was like I feel like it was just like a creative, like someone's creative outlet. I don't know. I felt like it was like a hackathon project. I don't know.
Here's a
It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Was this Wanda's origin story or no? Kind of.
Wanda's origin story, like in the comics or in the show, MCU?
I don't know. Like
Not in the
does go-
comics.
It does go into her origin story. You get the flashbacks and stuff, right?
Yeah, her origin story is in Age of Ultron.
Oh, I see. In the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they don't explain a lot of things. They retcon a little bit because in the up until before WandaVision, so like say Infinity War, chaos magic wasn't a thing. She wasn't a witch. She got her powers from the Infinity Stones through an experiment. But when you
She
see the
touched it, right?
yeah, but when
Showed
you
it
go
on the
through,
show, yeah.
yes, they show it in the show. But as far as you know, up until that point, she wasn't a witch. She wasn't magic. She got her
Yeah.
powers from the Infinity Stone. The
That
way
was-
they, huh?
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. That was the thing for me was I looked. I think I just looked it up when I was watching the original movies, and I was like, "Oh, she's a Scarlet Witch. That's her name." But then I didn't realize she never had taken on that name in the movies,
Mhm.
and until actually this show, and then you're like, "Oh, she's a Scarlet Witch, and this is why." And once you fully understand that, that was eye opening to me because it was like, "Oh, she wasn't the Scarlet Witch until now, even though that's what everyone calls her." Right.
Well, they don't even call it that because they make fun of that in the show, right? Like, what's his
Well,
name?
right. I mean, everybody as in the real world. Everybody
Yeah.
knows she's the Scarlet Witch, but in the show, she's not. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I'm just.
No,
No,
yeah.
no, you're
In the
right.
real world, everybody,
It's confusing.
yeah. But
Yeah,
in the show, Hayward's like they were talking about Captain America. You know, everybody's like code names, and then they're asked like, does Wanda have a funny name too? And then that's like
Oh yeah.
that's a lead in into like, haha, you know, she's a Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch.
Yeah.
But
Wow. Some things
she
go over
didn't
my
know
head.
she was a Scarlet Witch until she learned that she like battled
No,
Agnes.
so the Scarlet Witch is the moniker that they use in the comics and stuff.
Okay.
In the show, they made her a thing. So it was more like, how do I say? It was like kind of like trying to make the Phoenix Force a thing, and they even made a scene that was very much like, here's the Phoenix Force. This is how you do it. You know, Fox better than you guys can do it. So it's kind of cool. Phoenix
Oh.
Force is like an X-Men thing.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
It's like they made it more important than it is, because in the
Okay.
comics it was just the name that she had.
Gotcha. Because here it does matter. Like being a Scarlet Witch is a thing, right? Like that was the whole like.
Yeah, they made it a thing. Like you can become a more powerful being because of this.
Mhm.
And it was a very nice retcon because they were like, it was just a one-liner, like a bomb in the building, and then she's like, you used a probability hex, and like I didn't use anything, and that was the one line to make you think
Yeah.
she was a witch before any of this.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And then touching the Infinity Stone just kind of like made it more apparent.
And the-
Unlocked it.
Yeah, in the show, she touched the Infinity Stone. I didn't even know that was the Infinity Stone, honestly, until you said it now. And the stone disappeared, and then like everybody's like, "What happened?" So I don't know. So that episode was the most confusing episode for me of the
Yeah.
entire series because they were going like, I get it, they were going through her life, and I was like, "Oh, she loved to watch sitcoms as a child. That was her memory, and then that's why she was doing the thing." And then they go to the Infinity Stone, no idea what the hell's going on there. And they skip over to her stealing the body of
She didn't
Vision.
steal the body.
That's what it said. I don't know.
No,
That's what it
no,
looks-
no. That was all doctored imagery for Monica.
Oh.
Whatever really happened is she showed up and then she touched Vision, and then like she like, I don't feel you. And if you haven't seen any of the other movies, that doesn't make sense to you why she did that. So
Does not make sense why she did that.
in the other movies, like she would do that, like, and then Vision would ask her, like, what do you feel? And she would see, like, I only feel you. And then when, like, right before he dies, she like, I don't feel anything.
Oh, so
That's
that's why you
rough.
said that. Like, okay, that's why you said that.
Yeah.
So Vision wasn't actually there. She made him up.
She just created him. That's like the
Yeah,
chaos
Yeah.
I
magic
thought
thing.
I thought
yeah.
I was so I thought that she stole the body and then like kind of like
Yeah.
reconstructed it from there. That's why
No,
the
no.
albino Vision is actual.
The
Vision.
albino Vision is the real Vision. And it got powered up because, okay, so Vision, the stone that's in Vision, the little Infinity Stone,
Yeah.
that's the Infinity Stone that gives Wanda her power.
Okay.
So,
She has one too, right, in her body.
no, she doesn't have one.
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
The same stone that Vision has is the same stone that gave Wanda power.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool.
So that
All right.
stone basically means like she is like a part of Vision, or Vision is a part of her, basically.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
So when he manifests, that's why he comes out,
I see. Okay.
and that's why he powered up, because supposedly like her power gave power to the Vision because it's the same thing.
I thought
It's
they
a
sent
circle.
them. I thought they sent them to go catch him. They programmed him to go.
They did, but the way the body wasn't functioning until the UAV that they recovered from the Hex came back, and then they used that like power, that whatever happened to that UAV, to power Vision,
Gotcha.
the White Vision.
Yeah, somehow I missed it. Oh, white vision. Okay, I call it
Yeah.
albino, but I guess it's
I mean, it's the same thing.
like, oh, okay. See, that part was confusing because okay, so then if Wanda created Vision, how did Vision have a like mind of his own? Like how free will? It seemed like he had free will,
Mhm.
right?
So because it created, so he kind of had free. Well, he did have. She
Yeah,
created the being, right? So chaos, the way chaos magic is reality altering. Sorry. So she manifested Vision. That's why the kids have a mind of their own too, because they're real people to an extent.
Yeah.
That's why the other witch wanted that power.
Yep.
It's like the power to create and destroy.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Like the other witch, all she could do was do spells. I think they made that pretty clear. Like, she could do spells. She was powerful and all that stuff, but she wanted to create and destroy, life and things and whatever she really wanted to do.
I know you say it's pretty clear, but all this stuff finally is making sense. Because I was so confused towards it. And I was like, what? I thought we were just having a fun time in this little town.
It wasn't fun for anybody there. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, whatever. Don't worry about them. Okay, don't worry about them. They're
We're
fine.
side characters.
Side characters. You're here to serve. Okay, play your roles. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so White Vision was a real Vision. Okay,
Yep.
then was a fake.
So when they're having their boat of ship of Theseus moment, right?
Yeah, that was cool. I was like,
That
oh,
was
now you get to meet
Yeah.
a machine with logical fallacies. Yeah, I get
That's a
all
good moment.
confused. Yeah, I was like, classic. You defeat the computer, you your logical fallacy.
So when they were having that moment, and then Vision says, like, you're the real, like, Vision, the reality, WandaVision Vision knew that he wasn't the real Vision, right? Because he had no memories before existing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he was like, you're the real Vision, and basically Hayward like locked all the memories in Vision, so he helped unlock those memories, and that's why he kind of like disappears.
They
Hayward
replaced
is
all the planks and sails.
The director of Sword, sorry,
Okay.
the bad guy.
The guy that got arrested. You keep
Yes.
saying
The
he
guy that got arrested.
It's
He
like,
was a
I don't-
bad guy.
Look, I didn't think he was a bad guy. Okay, he was
What?
doing his job. Maybe
Where
I missed this. Maybe I missed this through the entire movie and I wasn't focused.
You didn't hear
I
like
don't
when
know
he
if you
came on the
noticed-
screen, the music changed.
I know, I saw that, but I was like, why are you guys making this guy seem like a bad guy when Wanda's the one like keeping everybody imprisoned in there? I don't know, I'm just saying.
He wanted
he-
to kill Wanda. He was trying to use
He just wanted a
basically
weapon.
Vision as a weapon.
He was
Yeah.
gonna stop because she had a town hostage.
But he didn't give a
Right.
shit about those people. He wanted the weapon.
Yeah,
What weapon? Wanda, right? He wanted Wanda.
he
Vision.
wanted no.
Wow.
He already had Vision.
He already had Vision, so
But
But
he
it wasn't
couldn't make-
powered up yet.
Right. But he didn't know how to power
yeah.
up.
Oh,
But he wanted to eliminate Wanda because Wanda was technically a bad guy, but it's about grief, right? At the end of this day, the show's about grief, and she doesn't know what's happening. Like she didn't know she was doing this until towards the end of the show.
like the middle, somewhere in the middle, she realized she was missing.
Kind of.
Dude, somewhere in the middle, she realized. Okay,
She realized it in the episode when they were going through her flashback, where that's where like, you're the Scarlet Witch. I need your powers. Like she didn't realize that she was controlling all of this.
I don't know. That's the thing that's a little confusing, right? Because it's like she made all this stuff with her head because she was so sad. She was like, "Screw this! I don't want to be sad anymore." Which makes sense. I would have done the same thing, right? Why? Why? But just if you can create a world,
That's why,
of
like
happiness
Monica,
for you.
yeah. And that's why Monica was trying to be like, Wanda, we need to stop this. You know, you're better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Monica also that character, no idea who she is. She seems important because in one episode she disintegrated, and then in another episode she came back, and then somehow she's
She
important.
disintegrated?
Yeah, did I not see that? Like she kind of like went to another world or something. It's disappeared. It was
She
like
reappeared in the real world.
What?
yeah.
No, she did it.
Tyler, did you see this, or am I the only one that saw this?
I think you're the scene where she like materializes back in the real world. Like she's out of Wanda's world, out of this town.
She was in the hospital with her mother, right? And then she was sitting there, and then
Oh.
she disappeared.
That was like the. There's so much you don't know.
I have
My
no
sweet
idea
summer
what-
child.
I have no idea why this is so funny, guys.
So
Right?
okay, you gotta get some background. So in Infinity War, the whole purpose of Infinity War is
Yeah.
Thanos just trying to get all the Infinity Stones to
Yeah.
reduce the all the population of the universe in half.
Mhm.
So when he gets all 5 Infinity Stones, he snaps his fingers, and all the like half of the universe's population just disappears. They turn into
Gotcha.
dust.
I see.
At the end of Endgame, not even at the end, towards the end of the Endgame, they get the Infinity Stones again, and they basically snap their fingers. Hulk snaps his finger back and brings everybody who disappeared back 5 years later.
I see. Oh man.
So when you're seeing Monica Rambeau reappear and everybody's freaking out is because half of the world's population came back, and they came back in the same spot they disappeared. So that's why
I see.
everybody's freaking out. And
Yeah,
they call
okay.
that situation, that moment is called the blip.
The blip. I
Yeah.
see.
And it's
Well, for
even
me-
more important because her mom
Mhm.
was the director of Shield, correct? Or Sword or whatever.
Sword.
But in that time, her mom had died.
And the
Yes.
5 years her mom dies.
Yeah.
I
So
got
you
that
see her.
part, yeah. Okay.
It's
I
like-
was so confused. Like, what just happened here? Because they showed it for like 5 minutes, and then she came back, and then she went into the Wanda's world, and then they never talked about it again. I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for that information.
So I was like, if you're gonna dive in, you have to dive in from the beginning because it's 10 years of story that are all intertwined.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways, sorry about that.
she comes out in the first what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name because it's my least favorite character.
Talking about superhero,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
No.
Wrong universe.
Wrong universe. Captain Marvel, sorry.
What? Okay. Wait, you don't like Captain Marvel?
It's lame.
Okay.
Anyways, she comes out in the first Captain Marvel movie. She's like the daughter of Captain Marvel's. So, what's her name? It doesn't really matter. Monica Rambeau's mother is Captain Marvel's like best friend.
Gotcha.
So like she grows up and does all this stuff, right?
Okay.
In the comics, Captain Marvel or Monica ends up turning into Photon, or it's another superhero, or Captain Marvel, depending on what continuity you look at. So she's a superhero in the comics too.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when she crossed Wanda's magic barrier, she got some magical power, and then she could see like electricity or like magic or whatever. And she didn't have that before crossing.
Right, and that was
And
a
then-
cool
Yeah.
scene.
It was cool, but she crossed over, and then she wasn't in Wanda's control. So why? Yeah.
Because
Just-
she was being altered molecularly.
Okay, you know what? It's fine. Look. I'll go along. But it's like
You're making shit up.
I mean, I'll go along because this all show seems like I get it. This is all sci-fi. You can just make up whatever you want.
I
but it's
think
like,
I think it's because she was because of the same reason why the Infinity Stones kind of thing, right? Gave Wanda more power. It's kind of the same thing. Like she's affected by the either chaos or depending on how they decide to explain this. Since she was altered by the chaos magic or Infinity Stone magic, who knows? It puts her at the same level as Vision, right? Because she couldn't control Vision.
right.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because she crossed as she was crossing over, she was like having some mental demons, and she was like, leave me alone. Be
those
gone.
were mental
And then,
demons.
Yeah,
Those
whatever.
were encouragement.
Yeah, or whatever. She was just like she was like, I can do this, whatever. And
Yeah.
then like bam, she made it and like boom, I see dead people. So I see like magic.
She was also the only person that I remember that came in and then got out and then came back in, right? So
Yeah.
She did it 3
should
times.
be
3 times.
The first time she came in, when she got kicked out,
Yeah.
she crossed the wall 3 times, basically. And then the 3rd time is when she got her powers.
Gotcha. Maybe that's the thing. 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah.
Well, they did say that because when they were going out, they mentioned like you can't do it again because of hexes altering your molecular structure or whatever.
I see. I hate that they call it a hex.
It's actually funny because it's like hexes is what they call it in the comics, like hexing magic.
Yeah.
So like the wall being a hex, magic.
But it's like a hexagon too, right? It's like
yes, but it's a reference. It's a reference to hex hex magic.
Yeah, I got that. I was like, that's why I was like, you guys think you're so clever, but it's fine.
Hey man, you're over there sitting like, why is she dust suddenly? Don't get snarky.
But
with
that's not about clever. That's what I just didn't know what was going on, man. So I guess want to talk about so you mentioned we were talking about earlier the fake brother that was kind of a big deal but ended up not being a big deal. You want to touch
the
into
red
that?
herring.
Yeah, right. That was weird.
The biggest red herring ever. So again, you would need a lot of background information to know this. But the actor that played Wanda's brother in the MCU originally was the guy from Kick-Ass, which they also made a Kick-Ass reference, which they didn't make a Kick-Ass reference. They just said Kick-Ass. And everybody's like, oh my God, Kick-Ass, haha. Is Wanda's brother, and he dies in Age of Ultron. However, her brother, quote unquote, comes back, but the actor that plays this character is the actor who plays Quicksilver, which is Pietro in the Fox continuity of Marvel. So when he came back, everybody's like, oh, is this how they're gonna bring mutants into the Marvel world? Because mutant zones exist in the MCU right now because they were under other people's licensing. So what
evil
Disney,
Sony.
Other people's licensing.
yeah. So what Disney did was, all right, since we can't use the X-Men, we'll just buy Fox so that we can.
Nice.
Oh, Fox, not Sony.
That's the biggest power move in the world, man. Just drop your dick.
I kind of don't like that Disney owns everything. It just feels like.
In the case of Marvel, it actually helps. So.
Yeah. I want to see Wolverine, Deadpool. They already announced a Deadpool movie, by the way. It's the only rated R movie in the MCU.
But they're all super violent.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I was trying to watch one, and my kids is like, "What's going on? Why is the house shaking?" It's like, okay. We'll
Blueberries.
Because I watched Wanda with my kids up until the witches episode because that was a little bit too. It's a little scary for my daughter. But I was starting to watch Civil War, and she's like, "Look, it's Wanda. Yeah, it's Wanda." It's like, "Why is she hitting?" Okay, we know why we have to stop here. Okay, yeah.
She's got to grow up sometime. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It's like, nah, I'll defer that as long as possible.
But yeah,
Then I get asked questions, and don't want to answer them.
It was just a big red herring.
Okay,
They just used it as a. And people were pissed because they were like, "You guys did this for the Mandarin. Why did you do it again?" And it's like,
So guys, we run out of actors. We needed somebody in there. This guy needs some airtime too. He gotta eat. Gotta pay some bills.
Man, it's Corona, man. Everybody needs a job right now.
Yeah. Oh man. So red herring. The fake brother was nothing but a red herring. Fake Pietro. And that one, Agnes made him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess
That
since
was
we're
such a
touching on
cool
Agnes,
review.
Yeah.
Or reveal, sorry.
Yeah,
where like
reveal.
she sings that song. It was me. Like
Yeah.
she even killed the dog.
I know.
Yeah.
So I guess
Evil.
Agnes. Yeah, Agnes is the nosy neighbor that's always showing up at Wanda's house in the sitcom, but she's actually the. So does she have a name? Is she because she is? So if Wanda's a villain, then who is she? Another villain? Like, okay, this is why it doesn't make sense. Wanda's not a villain. Wanda's a villain. So who's
Okay.
Agnes? Who's Agnes? What is her name?
So Agnes, that's her name, Agnes.
her name,
Agnes
okay.
Harkness.
Okay.
Agatha Harkness. Sorry, Agatha Harkness is her whole name. So she's like a witch from the Salem witch trials, basically, and like, she's like the oldest witch alive. In the comics, she's like Wanda's teacher, quote unquote.
What?
Yeah. And she's not a bad guy, which is kind of weird. She's
What?
just like kind of a bad guy, not really. Like she's like one of those neutral characters.
Yeah. Okay.
A gray Jedi.
Gray Jedi.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Get out of here.
So it's just kind of like a neutral-ish character, but leans towards the good side of things. Balance, I guess. And so it's kind of interesting the approach they're making. I don't actually think she was a real bad guy in this one.
What are you talking about?
In my thoughts, in the way that I portrayed it, is
Okay, I wanna
that
see.
she understands that Wanda is a Scarlet Witch. Well, she doesn't understand. She figures out that Wanda's a Scarlet Witch, but she
Yes.
doesn't know how to control the powers, right?
Yes.
And then her thing is like she takes away other witches' powers. And even when they do her reveal when she's back in the day and she's all like, I can be good, I promise, da 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 da. Like I feel she actually wants to be a good person.
Yeah, right. She was lying.
Yeah,
man.
I was like trying to deceive everybody.
She was trying to get her power. She's like, give me that power. And then Wanda's like, I don't know how to use it. I would give it to you if I could. And she's like, give it to me.
It's like, here's some more.
She was
Whack,
bad, man.
whack. Yeah,
I
dude,
don't
like
know. We'll see.
I
We'll
do
see.
that. Maybe that's an unpopular. Maybe you know too much. Maybe I think you know too much. But
We'll see, man.
she
I don't think
seemed
she was.
pretty evil.
I-
Okay.
I
People are
think she-
complicated, though, you know? People
She did kill a cat or a dog, so you know.
That's true.
It was not a real
Crossing
dog.
a line.
It was a fake dog. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Actually, was it a fake dog? Because most people were real.
What is real?
What is real? Yeah, that's true. What is real?
We gotta define what is real, right? Anyways,
Yes.
so yeah, I think she's gonna be like one of those weird characters that kind of like Loki, right? Loki's kind of bad, but he's also a good guy. Kind of plays the game however he feels, kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like Vegeta, right? He's like a bad guy, but not really. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
People can change, too, you know?
Yeah.
People have depth.
Yeah. So that's who Agatha is. She's like the
Okay.
most powerful witch in the world, other than Wanda.
Other than Wanda, okay. Yeah, I mean, so I guess the episode where Agnes captures or kidnaps Wanda. So Wanda set her up. It was like a switcheroo moment or whatever, or like did Agnes actually capture?
What do you
I
mean?
was so confused in that episode. In the basement. where
Nah,
gets
she
it-
definitely got captured because Wanda doesn't know about magic until that moment.
I see. Okay.
'Cause
So
she
she
even
doesn't-
calls her like a baby witch, right? Because Wanda's doing magic intuitively. She's not like, I'm a witch, cha cha.
Oh, I see.
Cha-cha.
And then she
Nem
shows
gavi
her-
invidiosa.
Then she shows her about the runes. So the thing for me, yeah, that moment. Okay, she. I was asking Maxie about this earlier, but Agnes was like, "You can't use your magic here because there's some runes, and only I can use magic." And then later, when
Yeah.
they're fighting, I caught on that she was missing on purpose. It's like, okay, this is very classic. I can see this. What is the big reveal? And she was throwing her little magic balls, and then she made runes. It's like, how did she learn that? Right? There's no time for you to learn how to do that
Well,
spell.
runes are just
Whatever.
letters, right?
Yeah,
Letters.
okay, so you just write whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
whatever, man. Sounds like BS to me. But hey, It's sci-fi. You can do whatever you
It,
want.
it's also chaos magic, so she could just be like chaos,
Chaos,
woo!"
make me a rune, like the
Right.
one we saw earlier. Okay,
Right. So
Yeah, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I'm just trying to understand how this works. I'm not a connoisseur of the Marvel
so
universe.
magic. So the thought process that's going on right now is that the next phase of Marvel is magical based. So if you've seen every of the other Marvel shows, or sorry, anything Marvel related before Infinity War, it's very technologically based. Like even Thor, which you would think is a god, they kind of make it like explain that magic and technology are the same thing to them.
Yeah.
So it's very technological based. So the theory going in right now, because with Shang-Chi, they're doing the Mandarin. Some of the stuff coming up with the new movies are also magic based, like Doctor Strange and things like that. The thought is that they're going into a more magical villain. We don't know what villain yet.
I see.
The whole thing is going to be magic. So magic is new in the MCU, other than Doctor Strange.
But if they use magic, I mean, I'm so broken right now. If they use magic, how is Captain America gonna go and fight against that? Or how is like Iron Man gonna go
That
fight
is-
against that?
Funny you should mention that. So in the comics, like one of the biggest villains for Iron Man is the Mandarin, because he uses magic, and magic counteracts technology.
Of course.
So that's actually a fighting point, and I think that's something that they're gonna have to make bigger characters be more powerful, like Doctor Strange, the Scarlet Witch. They have to be more prominent because they're the only ones that can defeat magic.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
you
okay.
also picked the two characters that are, let's say, retired going forward.
So they're like, okay, you don't have magic
Yeah.
benched.
No,
You
I
don't
mean
have
they're
magic benched.
they're gone.
Well, I think
Oh,
Chris
they
Evans
killed
signed
him?
up. No, it's Chris Evans
Oh,
signed up
did
for
he?
a couple more. Yeah, I think he signed up
Okay.
for a couple more movies.
Because wasn't he all old and dying and stuff like that?
Old? Wait, like in real life?
Yeah.
I'm really spoiling stuff for you here,
It's
but
fine.
it's been
Don't worry
10
about
There
it.
is-
years.
Dude, don't worry about it, man. It's been 10 years. I haven't watched it.
The reason why he says that is because Captain America at the end of Endgame goes into the past, and then you see him be old, and then gives the shield to the Falcon, and like, here, you're the new Captain America.
But Falcon is already Falcon. How can he be Captain America?
In the comics, he's also Captain America.
I refuse to believe this reality. I can't.
There's multiple Captain Americas, just like there's multiple Spider-Mans, there's multiple everybody, because eventually these characters die. Somebody takes up the mantle. Anyways,
All right.
It's a hazardous job, you know?
That's how you keep making more money. I
Saving
understand.
the world.
I
Alright.
understand.
even in like DC, the one weakness of Superman is magic. So it's a very common trope.
It's not
I-
magic, it's kryptonite, right?
No. Like even after that, magic is like his one weakness other than kryptonite.
Okay. See, okay, well, whatever. Like, it's just like magic is such a like loose term, right?
Yeah,
You know,
and that's
it's
why
like-
it's interesting to see where they go with this.
It's like you say, it's lazy writing, all right? Because you can just like magic. And then-
Right. Well, this is why they're establishing their
no
thing.
rules, man. No
No,
rules.
there are establishing rules. So if you watch Doctor Strange, they set up some of the rules for magic, and they explain how they do magic. And now with the Scarlet Witch, they're explaining like basically she's a god and she can do whatever she wants, and it's kind of true because she gets her magic from Chthon, which is an old god who basically brought magic into the chaos magic into the world, and it's super complicated. But basically, I'll link a video that explains it because it's actually a really interesting video.
Okay, cool. Well, you wanted to talk about the end credits scene. What is it called? The stinger thing at the end.
Oh man, I think Wanda's gonna be the bad guy in Multiverse of Madness, man.
You still think that? All right.
Did you not watch that end the credit scene, which is with the Darkhold?
did.
I think she's using that because you hear her kids whisper like "help," like so she wants to know all the dark arts to get back her children.
Nah, man. I think what's gonna go down is the Darkhold is part of another the character that I told you, Cthulhu, Thon or something, whatever you pronounce it. So basically, I think what's gonna happen is whoever's the big bad for the next phase is gonna be trying to use Wanda as a conduit. That's my theory.
It's an interesting theory.
she's using her children as bait because their children are actually real characters in the comics. They are young Avengers.
Yeah.
But I feel like Wanda should be like woke to that
Should be
already.
woke.
Like she should have figured that out throughout WandaVision. Like, stop letting people play with you, sort of thing.
But she
But
should
as
be a
far as she
witch.
knows, her kids she created, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying. I don't think she's gonna be like the main bad guys. I think she's gonna be a conduit of bad guy.
Yeah. Okay. I could see it. I was really hoping Doctor Strange would show up in that end credits there.
Me too.
I was kind of bummed when he doesn't.
They made a little nice reference. Did you see that? Where they were talking about chaos magic, and they're like, "You're more powerful than the sorcerer supreme."
Yeah, the sorcerer. Yeah, yep.
It was
I
like,
do
oh,
remember
we're
that.
just gonna name drop in there.
So that's why I thought for sure in the last credits he would show up, and then I thought she was going to play into the next Doctor Strange movie. That's how I thought it was going to go. But
Well, it is, right? Because I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen is something's gonna happen with the Darkhold and her finding her children. That's probably gonna create the multiverse or break the multiverse, and then Doctor Strange is gonna be like, "We need to stop this shit now."
look,
Yes,
I'm not going to argue with you. You know all this stuff.
Because I
Yeah.
think Spider-Man's also. So the next movie is Black Widow, and I think Spider-Man, and then it's either the Eternals or Doctor Strange. And I think Spider-Man is in Doctor Strange.
Hmm.
And they've already kind of started touching. They didn't really like the fact that Sony did the Spider-Verse, so I think they might touch on that a little bit.
Spider-Man is in this stuff too?
Yeah, man, he's a Marvel character.
God, Lord.
He's a very special Marvel character because the licensing rights belong to Sony.
Wait, so what does that have to do with the story?
So Marvel can't technically make Spider-Man movies. They have to do them in conjunction with Sony. And the way it works is Marvel puts up all the money, creates all the story, pays for everything, and Sony takes half the money.
Nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. That's
Capitalism.
A good deal for Sony.
Yeah. Otherwise, they can't. And that's the deal they brokered so that he can come out in like these MCU movies.
Half
It's-
the money. That's
Yeah, I might be
Savage.
exaggerating, but it's a very large chunk that they take back for.
probably 30%, just like the Apple cut. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it's kind of like the Hulk. The Hulk does a very similar thing. There's no standalone Hulk movies because Paramount, I think, owns the rights to the Hulk.
How did that happen? Like, how did like? Okay,
They
maybe
didn't
this is,
I
plan.
got
They
you.
didn't
This is
plan
like-
ahead.
maybe
Oh, boy.
this is like
I got you,
another
man.
episode, but it's like,
So back in the 90s, Marvel wasn't very profitable. They were losing a lot of money. So they were trying to make up money so they could pay all their debts and stuff. So the way they did that was they sold off all the movie rights for all these things.
like one character at a time. Like, okay, Paramount, here you can have Hulk, and then Sony
Kind
here
of.
has Spider-Man.
Kind of.
Yes, someone.
So I think it was Spider-Man. So Sony bought Spider-Man and they did really well with that Tobey Maguire movie. I don't know if you ever saw it in 2000 and something. It was a good movie.
Maguire.
Is it back in 2000 the first cool Spider-Man movie?
Looking at this Tobey Maguire guy. Let me see. Yep, I know who that is. That is the Spider-Man that I know and remember.
Right. So they made that movie and I guess that movie made like a lot of money.
Yes,
Well,
it
it
was
obviously
pretty
did.
good. It was
So
pretty
the
good.
other companies started buying their like rights, and they bought X-Men. Actually, X-Men I think came out first in '99. Anyways, so
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four came out after Spider-Man. So all of these movies started getting bought. The rights started getting bought out, and then as long as you make the way the agreement works is as long as you make a movie every 5 years or something like that, you can keep the rights to the movie. And that's why all the X-Men, all the Fantastic Four characters belong to Fox. Spider-Man is almost Sony, so Venom, all those characters belong to Sony.
So Marvel gets a cut out of that. Like
No,
when they make a
they-
movie. Oh, they
no,
don't
no,
get
no,
anything.
no.
Wow.
Because they sold
Wow.
off the rights a long time ago.
Oh, damn.
It was like selling. It was like selling GME a little early.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah. So they sold off all the rights. These people had creative control of all the movies.
Oh.
Bounced back into like 2008-ish, give or take, a little bit before that. Disney buys Marvel and then makes the first Iron Man movie. And that's when the MCU starts kicking off. That's why they started doing all these weird characters that people weren't really, because Iron Man, if you don't believe it, is not a very popular character. So everybody's like, why would you do an Iron Man movie? But they killed it with Iron Man. And then Thor, like Thor wasn't a very popular character until that movie came out.
And the second one was pretty bad.
Right. But nonetheless, all these movies make money, and now you're sitting here and you're like, oh man, like Captain America, like, oh, this is great, right?
Yeah.
Because the big characters were sold off to other companies.
I see. Also, they have to make really cool movies that are characters. The bench.
Yeah.
Man, I see. That's
And then-
interesting. That's interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah, and so now these are where the jokes are coming in, because now like they're not running out of characters, but like now the characters you see like Wanda. That's why Wanda's also a very special character, because they're not supposed to use it, but they came with you an agreement, and it's crazy shit. But they're not running out of characters, but characters start colliding in universes. Like Spider-Man is in like Doctor Strange and all these characters. So the joke was, because they wanted all the X-Men characters and Fantastic Four and all these things, that's why they bought Fox.
I see.
That's the joke, but it honestly feels like they actually did that for that reason.
Might be true, yeah.
Because
I mean, there's dollar signs attached to that. So
Yeah. It's like perpetuity, right? Like you keep, for as long as you own them, people keep buying it, people keep watching it, you make money. So yeah, it makes sense.
Right. There was a movie, the New Mutants, right? That was coming out up to like last year or something. So they were pumping out X-Men movies still, because the X-Men movies still make money regardless of if they're good or not, because they haven't been very good.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man, that's interesting, man.
Yeah.
So who owned Marvel since the beginning? Marvel was its own thing.
Marvel was its own things. They just made comics and things,
And
and
then who bought them? Disney.
Disney bought them back in like 2006, 2007,
And
something
then Disney
like.
started buying all the companies that owned the pieces of that Marvel sold out. I'm sure they
No. So no, wait, when did Disney buy Marvel? Let me see that. In 2009.
Yeah.
Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion, which
Dang.
they've made that money back
Oh, yeah.
so many times over right now.
Easy.
So now, then they bought Fox like last year or the year before that, I forget. Let's say 2019. So now they own all the X-Men and things. So Hulk, I think, is owned by Paramount. So that's why there's no Hulk movies. Or Universal, sorry. They're owned by Universal.
Okay.
So
And,
next Universal.
So that's why there's
cool.
no Hulk movies, because they would have to do something similar with like Spider-Man, where they have to come into an agreement and how they use Spider-Man and all these other
But
things.
he is in the Avenger movies, right?
Yes, so that's where the agreement is like you can use them if you fund the next movies and you pay everything and we just take the benefits.
Gotcha. I see. I mean, yeah, I guess this was some sharky deals, but whatever.
Oh
man.
no, I just read Marvel owns the Hulk now again, so the rights reverted back.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's why. Okay, cool. Well, I guess that
Yeah.
answers that. Well, that's thanks for the backstory
It's crazy,
about
man.
those rights, because yeah, it's a mess. But
It's actually funny when you look into it, like why did they start with certain characters and why aren't the other characters in here?
yeah, because from the movies, it looked like Iron Man was a big deal. If I didn't know comics, I would think like, oh man, Iron Man was the shiz. Man, this guy was like all over the place with Jarvis and whatever the hell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean-
he's a big character, but he's not like Spider-Man. Like everybody knows Spider-Man. Everybody knows Iron Man, right?
Right.
Captain America wasn't a big to me. It wasn't a big character. Like I was like, oh snap! I think X-Men before I think it's Captain America.
Ooh, well, that was interesting, man. I didn't know that stuff is freaking confusing. This world is insane. This is why I
Yeah.
haven't gotten into it.
Well, that's why now that everything reverted back to them, like not everything, but the X-Men and Fantastic Four, everybody's like, how are they going to put them in the MCU? What's going to be the plan? Like even now, I think they're finishing up filming on Thor, the new Thor movie, Love and
Yeah.
Thunder, and supposedly there's talks that Jennifer Lawrence might be the new Invisible Woman.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
So
I'd watch
but
that.
then they haven't confirmed it or anything. and doesn't make sense why she would do a cameo in that movie. So it's like, what's going on? Like,
what's going on? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I bet they're like, oh man, we don't even know how we're gonna make it all fit, but we're gonna have to try. Now we have to.
They're actually really good. So Kevin Feige has done all the movies since Iron Man. So the entire vision that you've seen up to now is his like brainchild.
Okay. He's like, oh man, how am I gonna buy all these how am I gonna convince all these executives to buy these companies?
Yeah.
Like,
he did.
I need that character.
He did what Zack Snyder couldn't do, or wasn't allowed to do, or whatever.
Oh yeah, but anyway,
he pretty much look. Do you see this chest full of money from Endgame? We can do that again. And they were like, all right, what do you need? Right. X-Men? Okay.
Yeah, by this point, they pretty much believe, I'm pretty sure they believe him now. It's like, by this point, like, you know what? Whatever he wants a helicopter, he wants to blow it up, let him do it, all right? Just whatever he wants.
Give him 3 just in case.
Yeah, he might need more. Okay.
Imagine how good that must feel, though. Like, sitting there and you're just like making like, I made this 10-year story work and I've generated tens of billions of dollars.
It's like the biggest I told you so moment ever.
Yeah.
For 10 years he's like, just wait.
Just wait.
Well,
just wait.
It's funny you say that because originally they didn't want Robert Downey Jr. to be Iron Man because he had like a lot of drug problems and stuff at that point.
Oh yeah.
So like nobody wanted him to be the guy, but what's his name? Jon Favreau was like, no, we need to make Robert Downey Jr. the guy.
Yeah, that was his like rebirth, right? It was like right out of rehab. He's like Iron Man, and now he's like a good guy, and he's like a humanitarian.
I wonder if they got a good deal out of that. Like they hired him for cheap because
they did hire him for cheap.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is Mel Gibson paid his insurance bond, so that they would insure him to be in the movie. Because nobody wanted to insure him. So Mel Gibson's like, I believe in him.
Yeah. Damn, that's cool.
Which is hilarious in its own right.
All this lore. Oh, yeah, man. It's like a Mexi Betty's right here. You guys getting damn, it's all good. Good stuff. I didn't know this.
This is, and like, I know, so like, I know you like, this is all stupid and blah, blah, blah. Like you don't like the whole MCU thing, but like when you know all these little, like how much work it took to get to where they are now, it's really incredible.
I like it when you tell it to me. I don't want to go discover it on my own. It's too much work. It's like, no, like when you say it, it sounds way cooler.
Right, but now when you can have a different appreciation if you ever sit down and watch these movies to be like, wow, like like you can't imagine somebody else being Iron Man other than Robert Downey Jr. Like who could take that mantle, right? Like
exactly, yeah.
Why would they choose Thor? That's a stupid character. And then you're like, well, they didn't have anybody else, so they had to make it work, right? Like, there's all these little nuances that are happening, and you're just like, that's why I enjoy this a lot.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, I think we covered everything pretty thoroughly. So next week, like Tyler mentioned, was Snyder's Cut. Say right?
Yeah.
The what is it? I forget. 4-hour movie. That's all I know. So what is the name of it?
Justice League Snyder Cut.
Justice League. Yeah. Yep. Comes out on March 18th, right? Which is today.
Yep.
All right.
Oh wow.
We'll talk about it next week. I guess. And with that, we're out. Peace.
See ya.
Godzilla's still beating the shit out of Kong in the new trailers.
Oh man. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, please give us a star, heart, or leave us a review. You can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube at Pubstomp Podcast. That's PUBSTOMPOD cast. For more episodes, go to anchor.fm/Pubstomp. Music provided by 99 Lives. Credits are in the episode description.